Okay guys, welcome to another one of my tutorials. Today we are going into the Istanbul track and today is a race day. I'm starting 5th on the grid. Just some standings now. And let's go straight to the track. Okay, while this loading screen is going, I will tell you something about the strategies of this track. The track tire wear and brake wear is medium. I will show you where to check it. And I will show you how to do your tire strategy on the race, and this is really important because the earlier you pit, the less traffic you will get. So this race is 12 lap race, and I will go for 3 laps with option tires and 9 laps with prime tires. That's the earliest pit possible to get. And for the quick car setup, I will go to the medium quick car setup. You will see when I do it. And that's because there's a 55 chance of rain. 55%, I mean. But now you will see it all. So yeah, you can check the track here. Medium tire wear, medium brake wear, as I told. Medium quick car setup, as I told. And tire strategy. Stop 1, 3 laps. Already, as I told you that. Okay, let's go straight to the track. I have nothing more to do here. Something more, what I wanna say to you is that you can go to your options tab and set the button to change your tires on the track. I mean, if you are going with the option and prime setup, you can always change the prime tires to intermediate if it starts rain immediately. But you have to remember that this is a dry track because you start in the dry race, and you have to use both complex, the option and the prime, so you will have to pit at least 2 times to get option, prime and intermediate. As I told you on my qualifying session, the first 2 corners are especially important because that's when you build the most of your lead. As you saw, I started in the 5th position on the grid and now I got easy 1st place. No matter how far are you, you can never be sure that you will win, because you can always get a tire puncture if you're playing with full damage on, which I am. And that's something which we really don't want to get, because you have to drive to the pits really slowly as your car don't push much of the speed with a puncture, and the pits take really long time, about 7 seconds, just as with losing your front wing. What I recommend to you is when you change to the prime tires, get your wing to the opposition for about 2 laps, so your tires will get to the good temperature, and as you know, prime tires has less grip than option tires. For the record, I will never restart my races, so if I get a puncture, I get a puncture. I can change nothing about it. This way it is much more interesting to watch for you, and much more interesting to race for me. Again, about the racing line, I kept here, check my qualifying session, because there I'll explain why I kept it. I kept it for those who doesn't understand how useless it is. If Vettel and Webber keeps the positions as they are now, my team is really getting in some problems, because Red Bulls are already topping the Constructions Cup, and even if I finish in 1st and Button finishes in 4th, which he is not doing so far, then we're still behind the Red Bull. In other words, I have to get rid of Red Bull somehow. But all I can do is just hope that they make some mistake. I got my wing to the opposition before going to the pit stop, because later I might have not too much time because I have to take corners. So I did it early because I'm pitting this lap to change my tires. Button is 6th, as we can see, and that's not very good position as he started in 3rd on the grid and I started in 5th at the grid, and I'm still in better position than him. I can see this was a pretty perfect tire change because I was faster than the Red Bull who is behind me, and I'm still keeping a perfect position even though I won't pit anymore if nothing bad happens. Come on now, my teammate is keeping me behind. Okay, finally got past my teammate. Now I only need to fight with Masa. But actually I don't need to fight with anyone who is behind me or even who is going after me, because I already pitted and I will pass them all on the pit stop. Um, Unless, as I said, I get a tire puncture. Only Alonso is still on the race, so I'm second now. All of the other guys are still in the pit stop. So I can guess that Alonso is going for 9 or 8 laps because he didn't change at the time when option tires worn out, and he probably has the prime tires on his start. So that's why I think he will go into pit stop pretty late. But all I have to do is to keep behind him, keep my position, not silly mistakes like this, and then I should be okay. I should pass him pretty easy later. The tire's damage is not improving yet. That's very good for me, because at the 8th lap, around the 8th lap, my tires will be pretty much worn out. Only 4 laps will remain for them, so I should start getting damage on them then, and I hope that it will happen as late as possible, because it really makes your driving harder. This was a very silly mistake, and now I have to get Vettel because he already pitted, and I'm not sure if I will be able to catch Alonso now, even though he hasn't pitted yet. But the fact is that I will catch Vettel easily. As we can see, I'm getting to him pretty fast, and if I build more speed with my wing like this, let's see what happens. But that slide really improves my tire wear, which is bad because I'm not sure if my tires will keep all the time they need now, and I might get a puncture, which doesn't help in racing at all. Button has a terrible position. I hope he improves when the guys who started with the prime tires will pit. Okay, I'm in the second position again, and if I'm lucky, I will catch Alonso when he pits. Seems like it is still possible. Now I will have to take it easy on the remaining 4 laps to decrease my tire wear, because I have a pretty solid first position. So I don't need to take very hard corners, just easy ones. So you will see as my timing is pretty terrible at the sectors, but I really don't wanna get a bad puncture or something, because then it will be a screwed race. My team just told me that Alonso is 5 seconds behind me, so that's a pretty solid lead, of course. No need to rage at the corners. One more thing, guys, don't expect that watching as I drive will help you if you are not using steering wheel, because all the corners I take is much easier with steering wheel, all the wide corners, because when you play with keyboard, taking wide corners are pretty hard. You have to take the short ones, and that's not what I like to do. I always take it very wide. Alonso is catching up on me, but never mind, I will block him if he comes. I still won't rage on the corners though, because I don't wanna get a slide or a puncture. Because as you can see, even though taking fast early pits gives you an advantage because you don't get held up by the traffic, it also gives you a disadvantage because you have to be especially careful with your tires at the last corners. And as you will see in the later tracks I will drive, like Barcelona track, which I already drove though, I won't be pitting very early because those tracks has amazing tire wear. Because the faster the track is, the bigger is the tire wear. Okay, the rain is really improving now, and I should be especially careful at the corners. As you can see, both of my front tires are already taking minor damage, and now it will be gripping much worse. And when the damage will start to improve, well, about the last lap, that will be especially hard to drive. And the rain is improving very high now, but only 2 more laps remaining. I hope I can keep on the track, because Alonso is just right behind me. If you are interested in my possessions of the game, not as much as tutorials, then I can say that Alonso's possession, that he is second, is really helping me at the moment, because if Vettel or Weber would be second, then we would lose a lot of point in constructions, because we are, the McLarens, I mean with me, are already much downer than Red Bull on the constructions. Even Drivers' Cup I'm not topping at the moment, Weber is, but I should pass him at this race, I hope. And through the radio I just heard that my teammate Button is pitting again for the third time, no, for the second time, and that means he will get no point at this race. And just look what just happened. Button is 11th. Seems like a lot of guys stopped at the pit to change to the intermediate tires, and Alonso, who was just right behind me, also stopped for the intermediate tires, so I can drive especially carefully and slowly now, and I will still grab the win. That helped me a lot. Seems like everyone besides me pitted because Alonso didn't lost his possession even after the pit stop. So Vettel should have had pitted also, and the Petrov too. The tires are screwing me up a lot now. I can hardly keep on the track, as you can see, due to this rain. Okay, so I took a very easy first possession. Thank you for watching and see you at the next track qualifying session. Goodbye.